Welcome to the World League. We've got 2 games to cram into the next 2.5 hours for you. First, we'll see 2 unbeaten teams clash at Murrayfield as the Claymores take on the Barcelona Dragons. Okay, time now for the action, and we start with the Barcelona Dragons at the Scottish Claymores. Your commentators for this one are Ron Pitts and Doug Bell.
It's the Claymores against the Dragons here at Murrayfield. A year ago, the Claymores did not lose in this stadium. As you look at the standings now in the World League, Barcelona and the Claymores won last week. Amsterdam lost last night. And London and Rhine playing also today. It's a gorgeous day for football. 50 degrees, just a light breeze. And Ron, this is perfect golf weather. Of course, we're talking football.
Right, but that's on your mind for tomorrow.
That's right.
Maybe a little St. Andrews action now.
Scotland wearing their brand new uniforms. Hey, when you win the World League, you can get new unis, and these are really
they
sharp.
are sweet. They got that that Dallas Cowboy kind of pattern. You look at the socks. The socks are actually a very, very dark blue, maybe even a black. But that whole pattern looks really nice. There you go.
Looks good. And on the front is that Claymore.
It's not how you look, it's how you play.
Yeah, and on the back you see the emblem of the NFL team that has allocated the individual players.
That was Charles Swan, 26, he's allocated.
So here we go. The Scottish Claymores kicking off. Terry Groundroos kicking off from Finland. Tyree Davis and Terry Wilburn deep. This is Davis fielding the ball around the 18, breaking it up near the sidelines, and he's pushed out around the 33. So here we have it, the Barcelona Dragons on the attack, and here comes John Kitna from Central Washington. That's an NAIA school. He's the team barber, and a lot of imagination with that cut. Takes the shaver and he goes to town. You like this guy, don't you?
Yeah, I like him because he sees the whole field, and he's smart enough to sit at the line of scrimmage for a young quarterback and make his own check. And Jack Picknell, the head coach, has confidence in him to let him do that.
You saw that Seattle Seahawks emblem on his helmet. He's allocated by the Seahawks, and his first pass is picked off by the Claymores.
Boy, that looked
up
kind
around
of
the
strange.
25. Israel Bird, a man coming off a big-time knee injury, looks pretty good that time, and he's pumping his chest.
You know, that play looked kind of strange. It looked as though the offensive line for the Dragons, they weren't ready.
All right, they say the ball hit the ground.
Watch the offensive line. There's some illegal movement, illegal procedure by someone on the Dragon offense. But forget that. That's an incomplete pass. They say that Bird trapped the ball. Tough call.
Brings up 2nd down and 10. A week ago, Barcelona had no penalties on offense for the entire game. No problem.
You see right there, Kidna changing the play, audible. And
the handoff in the backfield going nowhere. On the stop, James Logan for the Claymores. Terry Wilburn on that carry as we look at the backs and receivers for Barcelona. Shedrick Wilson, their star receiver, allocated by the Houston Oilers. And the national player Marco Martos from Mexico, hoping to become the first non-kicker from that country to make it in the National Football League.
Shedrick Wilson had a big day last week. He definitely likes to be a part of this offense and is, but don't forget about the tight end, Bryce Burnett. They want to get him involved.
3rd and 13. Kitna back to pass. Goes to his man Wilson for a gain of about 7 yards. That's Tyree Davis, excuse me.
Yeah, that's a huge series for the Claymores, because coming into this game, they know one thing about what they saw from Barcelona last week. They have a wide-open offense. They're going to pass the ball a lot, and John Kitna is going to check off and run anything he wants to at the line of scrimmage. Now, you saw that there. He tried to check off and go to something different, but it's key to stop them on their first drive and let them know that it's going to be a tough day.
Jeff Beckley went to Boston College, was actually recruited by Jack Bicknell, his current head coach. At close block, the Claymores with a block kick, and the ball's down around the 29-yard line. James Logan on the block, and the Claymores got a turnover anyway.
Well, one thing Jim Kreiner talked about being good on special teams. And it looks like right there 56, Logan, he just beats his man inside. That's Bruce Presley. The up back was blocking, and he came with a nice rip move and beat him inside. Huge play. Big play, because you're talking about the first possession, the first series, and now you get that crucial turnover down in your own territory. And Logan's the guy who we're going to talk about a lot today, an allocated player from the Seahawks, making a whole lot of noise out there on defense.
Dave Barr, the quarterback. And the handoff to Dickerson. He was the big man a week ago, and he's had a tough week as far as an illness goes, but he looks pretty good that time, surging ahead for a gain of about 9 yards. Now here's Dave Barr. Physically not a big guy, although he's tall at 6'3", but only about 205 pounds. Very skinny. He's allocated by the San Francisco 49ers. And an interesting story we'll get into as the game progresses. Dave Barr has had many travels in his young career. There you see a San Francisco sticker on the back of his helmet. They measure for the first down. And of course, Ron, you wonder what Dave Barr is thinking. If he's thinking anything, Jim Druckenmiller was a first-round pick, the 26th selection yesterday in the draft, the quarterback from Virginia Tech, by the 49ers.
Well, Dave Barr, like you said, allocated by the San Francisco 49ers. He's not over here to be stressed out about the kind of tape he sends back to the States. He said, I'm over here to just play football again. And that's what happens when you're out of the game for a few years like he's been. He is just trying to enjoy the game again and get back into it.
Second and short, and Barr takes it himself for the first down, much to the delight of the crowd here at Murrayfield. Let's check in with the backs and receivers now for the Claymores. Ron Dickerson is the man carrying the load from a week ago. Saran Stacy, we should see him later today. And the national player, Scott Cooper, his head coach says Cooper is the best national receiver in the World League. First and 10. Staying on the ground is Dickerson. A flag on the play. Dickerson found plenty of room to run. A gain of about 6 yards, but there is a flag down.
Dickerson, we talked about Saran Stacy. We got a holding call there in the Claymores. We talked about Saran Stacy coming back, but last week it was all Ron Dickerson. 18 carries, 92 yards. Saran almost came back a week too late.
That's right.
Holding, number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So the penalty against the Claymores will set them back. They had 6 penalties a week ago for 32 yards. Both teams really played clean games a week ago on offense. And staying on the ground, there's Dickerson, and he has nowhere to go. And he's thrown for a 4-yard loss. Juan Long in the backfield, messing things up. There's Juan, number 59. As you meet the offensive line now for the Scottish Claymores, 3 of the big hosses have been allocated: Florine, Smith, and Rivera. Purvis Hunt, a big fellow who's lost 40 pounds. He's down to a svelte 345 pounds. Fun guy to talk to yesterday.
Big Purvis has a few complaints about the food and where to get it and the amount of grease that's put on it, but outside of that, he's having fun over here.
Dave Barr got nailed just as he released the pass. And that's Eric Naposki on the rush, number 91 for Barcelona. Here are the Dragons up front on the defensive side, an experienced bunch that had a big game a week ago. Oliver Barnett is a guy who's played in the NFL for many years. Glover and Reeves have been allocated by the Raiders and Bears respectively. And there's Imbranen, perhaps the most popular player in Barcelona. Barr on the scramble. Wow. And he completed the pass to his fullback, Jared Caello.
Yeah, the big thing for Barcelona today is their defensive line. You know, you look at their line, and they've got 2 guys who are allocated in Glover and Reeves, and then they've got Oliver Barnett, a guy with 6 years NFL experience. They are going to rely on the front 4 to dominate this game and let guys like Juan Long, the linebacker, and the secondary make plays. And you saw it right there. The rush got to Dave Barr, flushed him, and it was combined with some great coverage behind.
So that brings up 4th down. And the punter, Spence Fisher, allocated by the Miami Dolphins, will come on to kick it away. Good look at Spence. Big guy at 6'3", 220 pounds, went to Duke. Tyree Davis deep for Barcelona. And the Claymores down it on the half-yard line. What a play. What a terrific bounce that ball took.
Huge play.
Cowboy Jack Bignell, the head coach of the Barcelona Dragons, the only coach they've ever had, earned that moniker while at BC from a New Jersey sports writer because of his love for country music, but he said, heck, I'm a New Jersey guy. Jim Kreiner, really a nice guy. Both coaches, terrific personalities, and Kreiner, a very popular figure here in Scotland. Kitna. Whoa, what a pass and what a grab. Big play for Barcelona down the sidelines and out of bounds around the 33-yard line. Shedrick Wilson. What a play. What a pass by Kidna.
Well, that's a great pass. We saw that last week. That fade route, he just shoots it right over the top of the defensive back. Right here. There's Wilson. Now watch, he's just going to run up the sideline. Pretty good job by Barrett. Actually, that's excellent coverage. But here's the difference here. The run after the catch. Now, he's going to get a few marks for running out of bounds there instead of taking it upfield. But this is a guy who will go to John Kitna when he's not seeing the rock enough and complain about it. But they do it all in fun. He's a competitor.
And Terry Wilburn.
But boy, what a pass, though, by Kitna.
And the guys up front gave him plenty of time as we look at the guys, the Hogs, I should say, for Barcelona. Everett Lindsay is a guy who started for the Vikings a couple of years ago, injured his knee in a basketball pickup game. Missed all of last season. He's just working the ring rust off. But he's NFL caliber all the way. 2nd and 2.
Burnett moved the tight end. Number 89. You got to like the difference in hairstyles on that offensive unit.
Yeah.
Ball start. Number 89, offense. 5-yard penalty. Between 2nd down.
That was the tight end, Bryce Burnett.
You talk about number 64 left tackle, Everett Lindsay. He's got that long hair. Then Kitna, he's got the bald look right there. Burnett just raised up a little bit before the play.
Brings up 2nd and 7. Kitna back to pass. And he scrambled for big yardage a week ago. And he goes forward for what could be a first down. They're very fast, those guys.
Yeah, and you talk about fast. James Logan, allocated player from the Seahawks, number 65. He's a guy that they'll move around and put in some positions to rush the quarterback. We saw him block the punt earlier.
And the handoff to Wilburn again, who's the workhorse in the backfield for Barcelona. And a nice surge by that offensive line as we meet the Claymores linebackers. Coming off an outstanding week. They put up some impressive numbers. Eric Ubrzat and Logan both allocated by the Seahawks.
That's Logan, 56, not 65.
And Emmett Waldron from Ireland, who might retire after this season. This is 3rd season in the World League for the Scottish Claymore. And whistles everywhere. You know, it's funny, a week ago, Jack Bignell said no penalties at all the entire game, no fumbles, no interceptions, and already today.
Well, they're trying to run a lot of check with me, as they call it.
Prior to the snap, number 62. 5-yard penalty, between 2nd down.
That's Tom Robstock, the left guard for the Dragons. They're trying to run a lot of audibles at the line of scrimmage, so that means Kitna, the quarterback, needs more time to look at things. And as he's looking at things, that play clock is running down. And I think guys are starting to give the land speed as it gets towards 0-0. That's why we're seeing so much movement in the backfield for the Dragons.
Wilburn, the lone back behind Kitna. 2nd down and long. Woo! Wow. Hello. Shedrick Wilson over the middle with a grab. But George Coghill with a wake-up call. As you look at the Claymore's defensive backfield, these guys are small, but as you saw, they're very aggressive, especially Coghill. We saw in the film from a week ago, that guy dishes out the punishment.
Yeah, Coghill was here last year and he made the All-World League team. And he's the kind of strong safety that you can use to do a lot of things. I mean, you remember guys like Leroy Butler with the Green Bay Packers. They put him in position to do a lot of things. They do that with Coghill.
3rd and 10. Going to his tight end for little or no gain. Sami Alalampi from Finland on the reception. Check that. That's Bryce Burnett.
We just talked about George Coghill, how you can put him in different positions. Now, he's a strong safety. He usually doesn't have much man-to-man coverage. But right here, he's going to come down and put a nice hit on Bryce Burnett, the tight end, and stop the first down.
So the Dragons line up for the field goal. It's 4th down as you look at Burnett, the man they call soft hands in Barcelona. And it's good. The Dragons on the board. Joe Wood. Barcelona on top, 3-0 over Scotland. Joe Wood on the field goal. 7 plays, 59 yards. Wood out of the Air Force, allocated by the St. Louis Rams. And Yo Murphy with a handoff. And for good yardage is Eric Smith up around the 34-yard line. Roderick Green ran him out of bounds. Now here are the rules that you might want to know for the World League. 4 points for field goals of 50 yards or more. The defense can score 2 points if they block a kick, intercept a 2-point conversion, run it back. It's a 35-second play clock, so it's a little faster than the National Football League. And different from a year ago when they had the college rule, you have to have 2 feet in bounds to make the grab. Avar back to pass. Wide open and knocked out of bounds is Alan DeGraffenried. DeGraff. Nobody was around him.
Tell you what, this play is all set up by the play action. They suck in all the linebackers. Look to the left side of your screen. You see 52, Willie Smith, and that opens up a zone back there for that throw. But it starts with the play action. Very effective on first down, especially the way the Claymores have been able to run the ball a little bit with Ron Dickerson.
DeGraffenried was a walk-on at Ohio State. Barr again back to pass and scrambling for maybe a yard gain out of bounds.
One thing I know that Jim Stoker, the offensive coordinator for the Claymores, is going to try to do today is get the perimeter run game going. The Dragons are so fast and so quick, and maybe even a bit undersized on the defensive line, that sometimes they pursue inside too quick.
And Juan Long was huge a week ago as you look at the linebacking core for the Dragons. 13 tackles. Barr, play action fake.
Way off.
Yes, a good open throw. Looking for DeGraffenried again. DeGraffenried, really an interesting story. He walked on at Ohio State, and over his 4-year career as a Buckeye, he gained 45 pounds.
DeGraffenried right up there. He's just going to work on what they call a 7 route. He's going to go out to the corner and try to get away from number 20, Michael Wright. Wright does a pretty good job of pushing him out of bounds there, making that throw have to go high. He's got a broken finger, middle finger on his left hand. So it's amazing he can get any kind of hands on the ball at all.
Barr. Leo Murphy. A gain of 8 yards, short of the first down. The Claymores will have to kick it away.
Boy, Yo Murphy's a guy, MVP last year, World Bowl championship game. And talking to Jim Kreiner, the head coach, asked him, why is this guy not been able to hook on? He says he thinks it's because of the label he had coming out of college. Coming out, he had a label as not being real fast, not having great concentration on certain balls, that kind of stuff. But since he's been here, this league has given him a chance to prove otherwise, and now he's got to make everybody believe right down to the last tee that he can make an NFL team. And that one just about brought rain.
Spence Fisher had that terrific kick that was down in the half-yard line, puts it inside the 20. Whenever you can do that, it's a positive if you're a punter.
I think he opened up the face of the club a little bit too much on that one.
Kitna at quarterback. John Kitna, the young man from Central Washington in NAIA school. On the blitz, lets it fly, and it goes out of bounds. There's Kitna.
I tell you, what you do against a team that's trying to run audibles on you is you move around on defense. And that's exactly what they did. On your right side of the screen, George Coggill, a strong safety, moved around. He went on the line of scrimmage. That forced the blocking schemes to change. And as a result, the linebacker came right through the middle and forced Kitna to throw it early. But that kind of movement is something Jimmy Carr, the defensive coordinator, knows he has to do to throw off Kitna's rhythm and changing the plays on it.
And the draw play. Right up the pipe. Good surge by the offensive line. That's Michael Hicks, allocated by the Chicago Bears. Played last year for the Bears. Now there's a guy who was the second to last player taken in the NFL draft in 1996. Second to last player, made the Bears roster, and actually played in 4 games a year ago for the Chicago Bears.
Well, I like Hicks, and you know, they have kind of a platoon system up there, running backs on who they're going to put in and get everybody going. But I like some of the things he did. Had 92 yards rushing.
Wide open for the first down and more. And knocked out of bounds. Alfonso Browning. Doug Terry saved what might have been a touchdown. They found an open hole in that zone, and nobody was around.
You see, nobody covered down on number 80, Alfonso Browning. And that's a coverage error. That's a mistake in the secondary, obviously. And when the Barcelona Dragons come out in a 4-wide out program like they're doing, it's easy to get those kind of coverage. But you have to have 4 corners that are on top of their game and can match up with anybody.
And the draw play, a big gainer again. It's Michael Hicks from South Carolina State. And again, Doug Terry with a saving tackle.
Now you come with the pass play, you get everybody all frazzled, then you come right back up the gut with the running play. And that's what they did.
I like these backs that the Dragons are boasting with Wilburn and Hicks. Look at Hicks' numbers from a week ago. Heck of a tandem, those guys.
You got a guy pushing 5.3 a crack. And you're not afraid to run the ball.
See the first quarter going by rather quickly. 2.5 minutes to play. Kitna. Looking to Martos. Marco Martos from Mexico. They call him Speedy Gonzalez. That's what his nickname is.
One thing you'll notice, too, is the play clock, it's already short over here. It's 35 seconds as soon as the play ends. Unlike the United States and NFL, the play clock starts as soon as the referee puts the ball down.
There's the play clock in the corner. Michael Hicks.
So it almost, the Claymores are almost approaching this game like a no-huddle offense, because you have to. You add that new rule on there, and then the fact that they're going to run and change the plays on you, you have to play it like no huddle. You got to limit the amount of plays you're going to try to run on defense, and everybody's got to be on the same page and have great communication. There's the play clock right down the bottom left hand of the screen. See, he's going to get to the line and have less than 10 seconds. Now he's going to look over the whole defense, point people out, make a change if necessary, then get the play off.
Hitting over the middle, first down. Big play was 3rd and 5. Bryce Burnett.
And he did all of it.
Yeah. Somehow he got it done.
When you spread people out with 3 wide receivers, you're forced to play zone most of the time. It's hard to match up with everybody, and that's what they're in. Bryce Burnett working on number 50 there. Emmett Waldron, the middle linebacker, the national. Nothing fancy, just an option route, and they'll run a lot of option routes inside, outside, based on where the defensive player is.
Kitna looked outside. His receiver went inside. Again, that's Martos from Mexico.
Well, look at the speed at which this is going. Now, what Kitna's going to do, he's going to look at Jack Picknell, the head coach, and get the call in from the coach-to-quarterback communication device in the helmet.
His numbers from a week ago, very impressive. You see, even on the incomplete pass, the clock is moving. That's different from the NFL. Only inside 2 minutes in the first half is a stop. Michael Hicks surges forward, close to a first down. And they quickly set the game clock.
Look how long the Dragons have held the ball here. They've gone all the way down the field at a very hectic pace. pretty much shot holes in the Claymores defense as they get in the red area. But this is where the money time starts. Can you get it in the end zone?
Getting the whistles everywhere. And at the end of the quarter, didn't get the snap off in time. And we'll take a break. Barcelona controlling this game so far, and they're on top. 3-0 in Edinburgh. At Murray Field in Edinburgh, before the game, the power party. One of the fun things that the World League does before every game. And look at the fans having a great time. Really a family atmosphere.
Boy, look at that guy there on the right. He went all out.
Yeah.
Everybody goes all out here, the fans do. You notice that everybody's painted up. A lot of soap and water used.
It's a fun atmosphere. Kidna having a lot of fun right now. 3rd and 5, looking for the touchdown, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Doug Terry.
Wow. It's Charles Swan.
Charles Swan, yeah.
You know, that's the same play that the Dragons scored on last week. Just a quick fade over the top. That's good scouting and good film watching by the Claymores. He's just going to throw it up and let Shedrick Wilson run under it. But Swan knew where that ball was going, and he got on top of the receiver. But the difference is he makes the catch. And the difference here from last week, Kidna throws the pick instead of the touchdown.
Charles
That's
Swan.
a great catch, though. That's a great catch. Something happened, and it looked as though Wilson, but apparently they're not going to give him the interception.
All right, they're calling it.
They're calling it off.
That's right. Jesus Angoy from Mexico, the national kicker for Barcelona.
Whoa.
They declared that he trapped that ball.
Delay on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 15 fourth down.
So the Barcelona special teams malfunctioning a bit. Now check it out.
Yeah,
I think it was a good call.
Yeah, I think it's a good call too. The rule is if the point of that ball hits the ground, they're going to call it a non-catch.
Jesus Angoy.
No
good. Yanked it left.
We talked to Jesus before the game. He was kicking on this side of the field, and his English is not real good, but he said his leg felt good.
Dave Barr with a completed pass. You saw the flag. Yo Murphy on the reception.
You might see a lot of holding.
Holding, number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's Jeff Smith, the center. He's an allocated player from the Chiefs. You know, he's got some tough guys down in front of him. We talked about the allocated defensive lineman. There he is right inside there. He just kind of reaches around and grabs somebody. But when you get undersized defensive linemen, what they can do well is penetrate. And then when they penetrate, now you're behind on your technique. And when you get behind on your technique, you start to cheat and do things like hold.
First down and 20. And a completed pass. Dave Barr to Eric Smith. Dave Barr going deep. Yo Murphy was the man, and it was almost picked off. As you look at Dave Barr and his favorite receiver, Yo Murphy. His little sister couldn't pronounce Llewellyn, so hey, Yo.
Yo's going to end up right in this part of the field. Dave Barr underthrows this. He didn't get enough mustard on that ball. You can see it. Plus, you got three guys around. You know, a lot of people in the States, a lot of scouts for NFL teams don't know too much about Dave Barr. You know, he's allocated with the 49ers, we know that, but he's a guy who's bounced around an awful lot. He may be over here to have fun, but he's going to have to prove a lot, I think, if he wants to have some success.
Well, he got the heat that time, hung in the pocket, really nowhere to go, and just threw it away. So that'll bring on the punting team as you look at Jim Kreiner.
All right, man.
Kreiner won the World Bowl a year ago. Very popular figure in this Edinburgh community. Spence Fisher, the punter for the Claymores.
Well, that's a comeback ball.
Davis.
Low line drive.
Davis on the 35 gets stood up and put down by Mr. Swan.
Another, you know, what did Jack Bicknell say to us the other day? He said, the one real concern I have are the special teams. You know, we didn't have any penalties last week at all on offense or defense, nothing. And the one penalty, the one problem we had was on special teams. And now today we've seen some problems on special teams. They've already had the one kick block.
And now draw member of the kicking team downfield, number 58. The 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
So they'll re-kick. The Claymores will re-rack. And Fisher continues to be the busiest guy in the field. Spence Fisher. Tyree Davis from Central Arkansas, standing right at midfield. Fields at about the 45. And gets it up right at the 50-yard line, and that's where the Barcelona Dragons will start. Good field position. James Logan.
One receiver is going to come all the way across the middle of the field shallow. The tight end is going to try to sit down in between the two hashes.
The one back.
No, but that may be all off. We talked about the audibles. He's changing that play right now.
And a quick pass.
Boy, that's the advantage of having a quarterback that can think on his feet. And you don't see that a lot from young quarterbacks. He got the play from Jack Bicknell. You heard that. But now he comes to the line of scrimmage and says, based on what I see, this will work. He is in tune with what's going on in the playbook.
Oh, my God.
One of the fascinating things about the World League, each head coach is mic'd every week on the sideline. I love listening to those guys as the play clock is winding down. Ron just got it off. And it's a first down and more. There's Davis breaking the tackle, and he's gone. It's a touchdown for Barcelona. And Tyree Davis celebrates. What a play.
The Claymores brought the blitz on the left side of the formation. They brought the linebacker. And when you bring a guy, you got to pay the price underneath. You got to find a way to make up for it. But great awareness. The blitz comes, he throws to that side, just like they teach you in the playbook. That is a cool customer. Got a cool lid, too.
Yeah, John Kidna led his team, Central Washington, to the NAIA national title. His family's watching on FX in the Tacoma area. Jesus Angoy makes it. Joe Wood will kick off to the Scottish Claymores. Kick, fielded up around the 16-yard line. Flag on the play.
Well, that reverse stuff is not working today.
Against the Claymores.
Holding, number 93 on the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So the Claymores and Dave Barr will try to get things going. Barcelona has been very impressive, aside from a few penalties. First and 10 from the 15. It's a fumble, and Barcelona pounces on it. The Dragons say they have it. But it's the Claymores who retrieve possession. You never trust those players. 5 Barcelona guys said we have it. Never trust the defense.
See there, Dickerson never really got the ball, but the reason he never got the ball, he was worried about getting his block knocked off because somebody penetrated so fast he was in the backfield at the time the handoff was made.
Dave Barr has those happy feet, pushed out of the pocket, and he gets up close to the first down. Give Barr some credit. His team behind, big third down play, 3rd and short. Lives in West Yellowstone, Montana, loves to fly fish. And the big fullback gets piled up right at the line of scrimmage. He might not have made it. Let's listen in to the head coach.
You know, for the next time we get in that situation, what was there was going backside.
He's talking about going on the backside of the formation.
They gave him the first down. Barr back to pass. And again, his line gives him plenty of protection.
I thought he had somebody open down the field.
I think Yo talked to him about it when he came back to the huddle. And Barr again, plenty of room to run. And he's safe at home plate up close to the first down. Naposki.
See, Barr's got enough experience to know that he's got a time clock in his head, and that time clock is usually running at about 3 seconds. And by 3 seconds, if he can't find anybody to throw to, which there is nobody right there in the middle of the field to throw to, he's got to get out of there. Although it looked like Yo was standing open again. You have to understand also, these guys have only had 3 weeks tops together as far as preparation. That's what they get. They go into training camp back home and then have to come in here and make everything work. That's not a lot of time. That's what's even more amazing about a guy like John Kitten in that offense. They're sitting here running a form of a no huddle where he's doing all the checks at the line of scrimmage and everything. A very quick offense. 3 wide receivers, 1 back. That's hard to do. That's hard to do in any setup.
There's Barr, and you see that Claymore in their helmet. If you're wondering, that's what a Claymore is. That big sword. Positive yardage for Ron Dickerson. We still have not seen Saran Stacy. Carl Reeves on the tackle. Dickerson, a guy who played with the Kansas City Chiefs back in 1993 and 94. His dad is the head coach at Temple University. And he's had a rough week. Didn't feel too well this week.
Well, yeah, a little a virus or flu or whatever you want to call it went around. It wasn't necessarily food related, but it got about 5 or 6 guys on the team. I'm not so sure that that's having an effect today.
Yeah, Dickerson sidestep 1 tackle, but then ran right into Eric Naposki. Let's go home! Barr got hit just as he was looking for Yo Murphy. Now, you mentioned Dave is kind of a skinny guy, and he's taken some licks early on. Glover.
Watch the shot right here. We talked about that 3 seconds in the pocket. They bring a secondary player, and that's about as nice as you can go down in this league, or any league, really. Usually those shots are up around the head, even though they're illegal.
Spence Fisher again, allocated by the Dolphins. Tyree Davis, the man who caught that touchdown. Right up the middle to about the 29-yard line. And that's where the Dragons will take over. Now here are the numbers for the World League if you're wondering. 112 allocated players this season. That's a record as you look at the numbers from previous years. 116 World League players were on last year's NFL rosters. A whole slew of them were actually in the playoffs. And the quarterbacks are the big thing, I think, Ron, because a lot of people send these guys over, like the Seahawks have allocated this young man.
Yeah, but the thing that's funny is John Kitna here coming out of a small school. He's starting Tony Case, an allocated veteran, back backup quarterback, he's on the bench. You know, Pace got hurt and missed the scrimmages, but I'm not so sure that Bicknell isn't all that unhappy with the fact that Kitna had to start it off.
Waldron on the tackle, but Kitna again. A gain of about 5 yards. Now here's a guy, as you listen to Jack Bicknell, let's listen in.
860. Z cross, wide dig.
Well, that's the last play. It's the same play he called last time. They're still going to try to get that ball underneath real shallow to a wide receiver or in the middle of the field to the tight end. It looks like he's going to go with the play.
2nd and 4. And another first down.
Yep, and that's exactly what he called. Alfonso Browning, he represented the Z on the other side of the field, the Z receiver, as they call him. He came underneath real shallow. It's only about a 2-yard route, but that's something that comes from, I want to say, the West Coast offense, the West Coast school of offense. Real shallow routes, real narrow routes. Get the receiver the ball and let him run with it. How many times have we seen Jerry Rice get the ball, short yardage, and run a long ways with it?
First down, better look out from behind. The sack. Jason Simmons, young man from Ohio State, allocated by the St. Louis Rams. The Rams have allocated a lot of players here today. There's the draw play. James Logan on the stop. Michael Hicks on the carry.
Slots right. 860 hooks. Slots right, 860 hits. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Now that's a pass. Now you see the way Bicknell said, now it's 3rd and 10. 860 hooks. The receivers tight end are going to come down and turn around real short. But he said, remember, it's 10 yards because just go beyond the marker. Don't pull up short.
Didn't bounce that one in there. So the Dragons will have to punt. Alfonso Browning, that's the go-to guy, but it bounced in there.
That's a huge series now for the Claymores. You're coming down to 4:22 in the second half, in the second quarter. You're down 10-0. They need to give their offense a chance to go down here and get a score before the half.
Jeff Beckley. A long line drive punt. It sends Martin back to the 5. And he gets out around the 13-yard line.
There have been at least 4 or 5 allocated players come over from NFL teams that have been sent right back over the water. You got to come over here to play and exhibit a good attitude, or you're gone.
Dickerson on the carry. Now the team, the roster includes 42 players. You have 34 active players, 7 nationals, which we talked about, and you have the 1 inactive practice quarterback, just like the NFL.
Right guard.
Down.
Looked like Matt Joyce picked up a little early, number 77.
Ball start, prior to the snap, number 77 offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
He's in there for Big Purvis Hunt. I don't see Purvis Hunt out there on the field.
Matt Joyce allocated by the Cardinals.
Watch that right hand, and you see Leroy Glover, smart veteran there. He gave him a little bit of a quiver just to get him coming upfield. That's what happens when you get a quick guy.
Barr dumps it off. That's the fullback, Jared Caiello. Barr back on 3rd down. Barr puts his head down, dives forward, but he'll be short of the 1st down. It's 1st and 10 for the Scottish Claymores. On the 25, Dave Barr, the man from California, gets brought down for a sack. Leroy Glover, big number 99. And Barr back on 2nd down, and he gets hit just as he releases the ball.
Boy, Hugh Hunter, 92 for the Dragons, just completely bull rushed on the outside.
Barr again goes
He's
down.
in the grass.
Yep, in the grass. So that'll bring up 4th down. For the Claymores, Tyree Davis back to field the kick about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, these punts they're killing field position. Coverage has been great.
And he gets wrestled down back at the 41-yard line. He got pushed way back. Time is not a problem for this young man.
Here is where you're going to see a difference between offenses. Dave Barr and the Claymores offense, you know, without a Saran Stacy, they don't look like they have the tools right now to run anything quick.
1st down for the Dragons. The 41. Going deep. Jedrick Wilson was the man, and Jedrick's letting the man in the stripes know that he thought he was held up a bit. Barcelona in white. And the draw play and the fumble. And Wilson was right there to hop on it.
They better get on the ball and call timeout.
John Kidney, you see Everett Lindsey there, the big left tackle, who started for the Vikings a couple of years ago. 3rd down. And Kidney in the grass. Claymores fielding the punt at the 14 and going nowhere. And Dave Barr goes down on one knee, and that'll end the half. Did not see Saran Stacy, their all-world player from a year ago who just joined them this week. And the Claymores at home didn't lose here a year ago. They trail Barcelona by 10.
Okay, let's get back to Murray Field. The halftime score was 10-0 to Barcelona, and we rejoin Ron Pitts and Doug Bell.
Welcome back, everyone, to Edinburgh, Scotland. Doug Bell along with Ron Pitts, and so far it's been all Barcelona Dragons. They lead the Scottish Claymores 10-0 here at Murrayfield. Yeah, Kidna, we talked to him yesterday, and he said he was excited last year to be with the Seahawks because they had all veteran quarterbacks. As you look, Scotland in their Dallas Cowboy-style uniforms, the blue jerseys, Barcelona, the white road uniforms with the green trim. But he said there were veteran quarterbacks he learned from a year ago. This year they've signed Warren Moon, and he's so excited just to be learning from those guys. What a great attitude he had. He really did. He was a fun guy to talk to. And I think Dennis Erickson likes what he sees in this guy.
He has to.
You know? Yo Murphy fields the kickoff and finds some running room. Breaks it up the sideline to about the 49-yard line. Yo Murphy. And the man from Idaho.
I have to believe that head coach Jim Kreiner went in that locker room at halftime and got some hairs to stand up on the backs of people's necks who this is just a good job of picking your holes right here by Yo Murphy. I mean, the blocks were there, the wedge timed up nice, but Yo Murphy is a guy who's a playmaker. He's a big playmaker.
So the Claymores, who were shut out in the first half, looking to take charge at the beginning of the third quarter. Saran Stacy, their star from a year ago, has not played the entire game. They bar the first down to his tight end, Brady.
One thing that the Claymores can do more of is that right there. Use their tight ends more. Everybody knows that the ball is going to be pushed to the perimeter with Yo Murphy and Alan DeGraffenreid. But look at the middle of the field. Nobody's there. That's the area that they got to start to use. Great coverage on the play. Eric Naposki, number 91. And, of course, good plays don't come without some kind of compensation.
Carl Reeves left a tattoo on Dave Barr. There's Ricky Brady, a young man who played his college football at Oklahoma, Ron Dickerson. Weaves his way for maybe 1 yard. Imbernan on the stop. Dickerson out of the University of Arkansas has gone the whole way. Now, Stacy, as you mentioned right off the top of the show, really not in great football shape. He just showed up on Monday, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, well, anytime a guy has a hat on the sideline, you can bet he's been given the nod that he won't get the nod.
Yeah, it's like the backup quarterback, right? And Barr gets wrestled down. Carl Reeves on the sack.
I like Carl Reeves coming out of the Chicago Bears because he was a guy that might have been a tad undersized, but he understands all the techniques, and he's an around-the-corner type of guy. And he can get upfield. He doesn't mess around with all this stuff. Number 90, he'll come inside right there. He doesn't mess around with all that cute stuff at the line of scrimmage, spinning and grabbing. He gets upfield. And that's the difference between an allocated player and guys that aren't. They have a little bit of that NFL technique, and it gets them by.
Well, there was the blitz. Eric Naposki.
For the front seven for the Dragons, they are controlling the tempo of this game. They did it from the onset. That was Jack Bicknell's thing coming in, and that's what they've done. Now, he's the outside linebacker. There he is standing up. He's just going to stand up and come. And they have a two-guy situation that's real hard. Number 29, Thomas McGahee, he came inside as the defensive back, also blitzing. And as a result, Leslie Radcliffe, he didn't know who to pick up. And as a result, nobody got picked up.
So they're going to punt now. It was a great kickoff return, that quick first down pass, and then
Spence Fisher has been having more problems punting today. Every punt has been a low line drive, and now that one, he kind of topped it off.
Little minor scuffle in the middle of the field, and Spence is shaking his head. You know, he had that great punt that was down in the half-yard line, his first punt.
Yeah.
But then ever since then, it's been trouble.
Now he gets to put the hat on. Something about those hats.
Off the side of the foot. Yeah, in golf, that would be a shank. Yeah, in football, it's a shank too, huh?
No, in football, it's go to the unemployment line.
And Hicks on the carry, Doug Terry on the stop. Michael Hicks, the young man from South Carolina State, played for the Chicago Bears a year ago. You see that Bears sticker on the back of his helmet. That means he's an allocated player.
And it's like high school. I wonder if that puts fear in the other guy's heart. You know, in high school, you see the guys with all the stars or all the crossbones on his helmet. You just get scared of those guys.
That's Kitna, had a huge first half. Runs for 3 yards. Waldron, the national player from Ireland, runs him out of bounds.
The thing you notice with Barcelona that's helping them today as we look at number 50, Emmett Waldron, the national player, they have 4 of the 5 offensive linemen are allocated. And actually, Tom Robsock, who's not allocated, number 62, the left guard, he was allocated last year by the Oakland Raiders. So they've got a ton of experience and a ton of weight up on that front line. When you get a quarterback who starts checking off and do it successfully, that helps.
Well, that time Kitna got caught, had to call the timeout, or it would have been a penalty, a delay penalty. The Dragons on top of the Scottish Claymores by 10. It's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, notice the Claymores moving around. Look how many blue shirts are moving and talking.
On the blitz, Kitna. Almost going to his main man.
They're trying to get Charles Swan. He had some problems early on in the game last week, and they're trying to make him pay for that. They pick up the blitz on the opposite side from Scott, and great coverage. That's what you call in the hip pocket. There is absolutely no place to throw the ball. Actually, Kitna underthrew that a little bit. That ball's got to be over the receiver's left shoulder and fading out of bounds. Lucky that ball wasn't intercepted.
So the Dragons will kick it away. Jeff Beckley gets a good bounce. Fielded at the 18.
Woo!
By Eric Smith. And he's tackled around the 21. Dickerson dropped for a loss of 4. Mike Foley spent 1996 on the Patriots practice squad. Allocated now by the Redskins on the stop.
Number 97. See, penetration that fast. They have got problems up front in the offensive line for the Claymores. When you get people in your backfield before the ball's even handed off, you're going to have a long, long day. And that's just quickness. That's like a knockout puncher versus a speed technique puncher in boxing.
Oh, almost intercepted. He was trying to throw it out of bounds, but look, Benote was right there.
But you know what? Look at the duress that Dave Barr is under. He's got no shot. He really doesn't. You know, they have progression reads, and they're supposed to look from the left to the right side of the field and go to maybe 3 or 4 different receivers. When you got people in your face by the time you get to the back part of your drop, last part of your drop, all that stuff is off. It's time to ad lib.
Butler Benote trying to stretch out that hamstring, I think. He's got some sort of cramp. As you look at Dave Barr, a man who is very young, but he's had a pretty extensive resume. The bar exam looks like this. Now, as a junior at Cal, he was terrific, and then he broke his clavicle in the 5th game as a senior. But he was still drafted by the Eagles. Cut. Rams cut. KC cut. Cincinnati cut. And last year he was a coach at Ole Miss. Third and a long way. 18 yards. And again,
now, the Barcelona front 7, they're having relations with Dave Barr. Lovely relations.
Yeah, the bar exam, it's failing right now.
Watch the penetration by the white shirts. And see, they come with a nice stunt right there. Glover, 99 inside. He's working with number 90, Carl Reeves, 2 allocated guys. That's key. They know how to run stunts. You know, that's not just something you can do with 2 rookies, 2 inexperienced guys. They know how to run those tricks up front, and it pays off.
Spence Fisher, again, another wobbly.
Spencer just throw the ball. I wonder if they allow that. Just throw it downfield.
Great field position for the Dragons around the 38. Check out the weight now. For Barcelona, they're protecting John Kitna. And that's big. That's the average weight.
Right, and it's not that the weight difference is the big thing. I mean, that's big, but these are 360-pound guys that know what they're doing. You know, like we said, 4 of the 5 are allocated. It's one thing to get in a fight with a big guy, but then a big smart guy, that's even worse. You want to get in a fight with a big dumb guy.
Well, that time, the Claymores came to play. They bottled up Mr. Hicks.
You know, Dick Curl, the offensive coordinator for the Dragons, we saw Jack McNeil calling the plays, but the plays come to Jack from Dick Curl. And he's been with Jack a while, and you can see that they're kind of on the same page. Like we said, these guys don't have a lot of time in the training camps, and they get over here. They've only had maybe 3 weeks total to prepare, but they've got everybody on the same page in a flying herd.
2nd and 9 for Kitten and the Dragons.
Look at this. Whoa!
Hard to bring him down. He broke a tackle or two, and he gets up close to the first down. Doug Terry finally grabbed him around the ankles and got him on the ground.
Now, Kitna, he's about 6'2", 215. He's a little thicker than he looks. I mean, he's got some structure in there. He's kind of heavy. But this is just a good job of being a football player, being an athlete. And that's one thing that this league tries to bring out in some guys. You know, is he an athlete? And if you are, then you better show it. And that's one way to show it, making something out of nothing.
Hey, the Marine Corps would like that haircut, huh? Kitna to a wide open receiver. Bryce Burnett couldn't pull it in.
Well, you don't see Bryce Burnett drop many of those. He's the man they call with the soft hands, right?
Mano Suaves. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I've been working on that.
That's great.
Bryce, a popular figure in Barcelona, a father of 3 himself. Would like to work with kids someday. He'd like this field goal to go through as well. Joe Wood kicked one earlier. And the left-footed kicker comes up about 2 yards short. Tipping the scales, and the Scottish boys, they outweigh Barcelona as well. And Dickerson on the swing pass finally gets some room and gets a first down up around the 50-yard line. And until that play, really the size had made no difference.
But once again, Claymores talked about working the perimeter before the game because they were worried about the penetration inside from Barcelona's defense. And here we go, a nice little side screen. They got one man out there to block. Does a pretty good job of getting upfield, but that's something they hadn't shown in a while. They hadn't gotten back to that. I don't know if the answer is to try to get Saran Stacey in the game. First of all, he's not healthy, or not in condition, I should say.
Right.
And Dickerson has been involved, has made some good plays, played well last week. The problem is Barcelona's front 7, the front 4, they're just quick. And they're busting gaps and getting inside. What did Purvis Hunt tell us the other day? Hey, I'm worried about Leroy Glover getting on my inside. They try to pick a side and shoot the gap. And that's exactly what's happening.
There's a first down to Alan DeGraff and Reed. DeGraff hasn't caught a pass since early in the first quarter. DePola on the stop.
That's funny. He worked that time on Butler by Note. Now, those two guys played together at Ohio State. By Note was talking about he knows him pretty well and knows what to do. That was a zone coverage. I don't think that was by Note's man. A nice job, a nice pass by Barr, dropping it inside. Once again, working the perimeter. Outside.
And Dickerson.
Look at that inside. There it is. Naposki.
That's quickness. Eric Naposki, man who's a black belt in karate, a bodyguard in the off-season.
He just shoots the gap. They get the blocking scene going. He looks for a hole to run through, and he makes it. That's just good linebacker speed. There's a guy that's been in the league now for a while. 30 years old, 24th World League game. That's a lot of World League games. But actually, in '88, he was the youngest player in the NFL at 20 with the New England Patriots.
Barr gets wrestled down. Oliver Barnett, Big O, the man who was drafted by the Falcons, played with the 49ers in Buffalo, actually started a Super Bowl. Gets another sack. He's 30 years old. I guess that's old, huh? In football terms.
Because of the salary cap and free agency, all that stuff, 30 years is old. If you are not making an impact, a big impact, then they're going to either cut your salary or cut you.
And that's what happened.
In some cases, both.
Yeah, right. Third down.
Oh, DeGraff. Ooh, DeGraff.
He had green pasture. ahead of him.
You know, an old trick which receivers have to do, look the ball into your body. Watch yourself catch it.
And into the end zone. So the Dragons on the attack at the 20-yard line. Cowboy Jack told us yesterday, we asked him, is this the best team you've had since you started coaching these Dragons? And he said, yes, I think we can win the World Bowl.
He was very emphatic about that.
Yeah. Kitna. Jim Kreiner is also the offensive line coach for the Claymores, and the draw play goes nowhere. Coghill on the stop, stopping Hicks. George Coghill.
You know, George Coghill, we want to take this time to give a hello out to his mother, Elaine, back in the States. She's battling cancer right now. We want to wish her and the Coghill family all the best. Tell her that her son is out there plugging away. Got them interceptions. Interceptions, like they say, put you in the Pro Bowl.
Yep, getting close. Third down now for the Dragons. And it's a first down. Kitna gets it in there.
Good play.
Bryce Burnett.
Bryce Burnett just drags across the field. Good coverage on the play. Demetrius Martin. Barnett, he's going to come all the way underneath there. Actually, he's on the right side of your screen. See the way Martin jumped inside? Just if you're going to make that dive and commit yourself, then you have to get a piece of the ball, because if you don't, the receiver's going to catch a turn up and get more yardage.
First down. Getting over the middle. Wide open. Shedrick Wilson. Great touch by Kitna.
They got a flag back upfield.
Yep.
Looks like a hold.
It'll bring it back.
Illegal procedure. Legal motion.
What a sweet pass, though.
Well, Scotland, they're not in a position to panic. It's 10-0. They're not out of this
Illegal
game.
motion. Number 84, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still remains first down.
And Saran Stacy, hey, Ron, you mentioned that baseball cap. Well, he finally took it off and put his helmet on. So I think he's getting warm, and we might see the MVP of this Claymores team see his first action of the season on their next possession, perhaps. Either that or he's getting bored and he just wants to throw the football around. Another draw play. You know, we talked to the Claymores coaching staff, and they said, you know, Barcelona only has like 4 or 5 plays, and we've seen that draw play quite a few times.
Well, that's what they have. They have 4 plays, and all 4 plays have about 90 checks built into them.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so depending on what the defense is going to play, Kitna can run whatever he wants to run. But that's what you want to do. You don't want to overload. You can't overload over here. You don't have the time to teach. You want to show and have the guys exhibit their talent.
Another first down. Bryce Burnett. There's the man with those soft hands.
See, what happens when you get 3 wide outs in the game, you force man-to-man coverage or zone of some kind on or near the tight end. And that's why all good offenses know how to use that tight end. And John Kitna told us yesterday, I love my tight end, and I got to get him more involved.
Burnett dropped that ball on the last drive, but he's come up now with 2 nice receptions for first down. First and 10. And everybody is pointing at each other.
You know, it's hard to believe. Well, it's not hard to believe after watching Kitna today, but he was 70% passing last week. 70%.
False start. Prior to the snap, number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That was on Tom Robsock. They call him RoboCop.
Isn't he the guy that got some donuts
Yeah.
for a pancake block there?
You got it. Barcelona. Whoever gets the most pancake blocks, that's when you put a defensive lineman on there behind, gets 24 Dunkin' Donuts. And, you know, these guys are big guys. They love donuts.
And the fat content from those donuts, you'll be so fat the next week, you'll get put on your back.
Tom got the 24 this week. Flags everywhere. So maybe that's why he's a little slow after eating all the donuts.
That's one of those awards where it's guaranteed not to be won 2 weeks in a row. Guys come out in the field so sluggish after those 24 donuts.
There's Robsock, an interesting guy. He's an expert card trickster. I guess I said that right.
Offside.
Yeah, I got the meaning.
Defense. Number 93, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They call him RoboCop, but this guy can do all sorts of tricks. In fact, in the media guide, he's actually, there's a picture of him with cards coming out of his shirt, you know, his shirt sleeves.
You look at him, he looks like one of those tricky guys.
It's pretty tricky inside there, playing guard. Just a dump pass to Michael Hicks. Wilburn, by the way, who started the game, is injured, so he's out for the rest of the day. That's why Hicks is in there full time.
And, you know, I meant what I said. He is one of those tricky guys on the offensive line.
Yeah.
You watch him. You know, he'll be right in there, 62. Uh-oh. See, he kind of just held his man just long enough, you know, for the quarterback to get the pass up. Now he just reported as eligible as a tight end to catch a pass. So he may go out for a pass here. And that would really be tricky. He'd get the all-time World Big Trick Award if he caught a pass now.
There's the first down, and the third quarter is winding down. And again, in the World League, it's a quicker play clock. And they keep, even on incomplete passes, they keep the clock going unless it's 2 minutes to go first half, 5 minutes to go second half. So it's a quicker game than you might be used to if you're watching an NFL game in the States. And that does it. The Dragons hanging on to a 10-0 lead over the Scottish Claymores, the team that won the World League a year ago. We'll be back for the fourth quarter after this. Jack Bicknell became famous for his days at Boston College, and this perhaps the most famous play of them all against Miami 10 years ago. Doug Flutie, last play of the game, Gerard Phelan, touchdown, and I still get goosebumps, no kidding. Wow, what a play. Says he still talks to Doug Flutie on a weekly basis. Cowboy Jack. That brought a smile to his face, huh?
Yeah, it sure did.
When we talk about that play.
We may see Doug Flutie again, too. I'm talking about the NFL. There's been talk.
Yeah, Jack mentioned that yesterday. That Doug really is a dinosaur, the last of the big money guys in the CFL.
Slots right. Slots right. 0. Slots right, 0. Slots right, 0.
I like the horse story he told us riding through the streets of down in Barcelona.
Yeah, that was a Andalusian stallion during a parade.
He said it turned into, okay, Jack, just ride by, trot by, take off the hat, wave to the crowd. Then it turned into, okay, you know, put a little speed to it, take the hat off and wave it. Before you knew it, it was a full-on go. Take the hat off, spin it on your finger.
Double right. Double right. Deuce. Deuce. Double right. 5. Double right. 5. Deuce.
He really loves Barcelona. His wife will join him in about a week over here. The Dragons with a first down.
He says, I don't know how this Cowboy Jack thing stuck. I mean, I love country music. I play my guitar. I do all that kind of stuff. I ride the horses. But heck, I'm from Jersey.
First and 10. The Dragons continue to eat up the clock. And if they score here, a touchdown, it is going to be a long road back for the Claymores. There's Hicks breaking it up the middle down to the 4-yard line. Michael Hicks, Coghill, saves the touchdown.
That's just domination on the offensive line there. They can run anywhere they want. That time going right up the middle. Worked over the center. Watch this side right here, your screen. Just a counter play. But Hicks has so many holes to run through. That play was originally supposed to come back to the right side of the field, but the offensive line does such a good job. He takes it just straight ahead.
Double tight end. Hicks busts it to the outside. Knocked out of bounds. Emmett Waldron, the national player from Ireland.
I'm not so sure that this isn't the biggest series for the Claymores defense and for the Claymores period right here. 10-0. There's not a lot to panic about, but the way they've been playing on offense and their production, they need to avoid 6 points, 7 points here.
They did not lose at Murray Field a year ago. 6-0 in this stadium. Getting it for the touchdown. Flag on the play. We'll check it. Alfonso Browning on the touchdown grab. Let's listen.
Illegal formation. Number 62 did not relieve the game. The 5-yard penalty. We're going to repeat second down.
That's your tricky guy, Tom Robsock. We saw, look, he's trying to explain what I think happened. He reported to the wrong official.
Yeah.
You need to report to that guy.
Right. He's got to report in. If he gets moved to the tight end position, he has to report as a tight end because he has the numbers that is officially an offensive or interior lineman number. So apparently there was some kind of miscommunication there, and it cost Barcelona a touchdown.
It was called him a week ago. You need to report to the head official and tell him the other guys just listen to you. You know, oh, great.
Yeah, good, thank you.
So, a costly penalty. Back to the 12, second down. Kidna. It's brought down around the 10-yard line.
You know what's amazing about this Kidna and McNeil's confidence in him is that you're up 10-0 fourth quarter, you're threatening to score again. You know how many coaches would call off the dogs and settle for the field goal, the 3 points, to lengthen that lead? But he lets them go. He's letting them throw the ball down here.
A field goal would be nice, but I think a touchdown about ices it because your defense is playing so well.
The way the Claymores have been playing, it does about ice it.
Into the end zone. Bring up fourth down. Charles Swan on the coverage.
They've been picking on Swan all day long, and you know what? They keep messing with him. Swan's going to pick one. This is going to be a fade pass. In other words, just throw it up and let your receiver run to it and squeeze in the end zone. But Swan right there.
Beckley the holder.
And Jesus had the problems on the last kick.
Jesus Ngoy from Mexico.
No problem there.
Makes it 13-zip. And the kickoff goes up to about the 25-yard line.
And there's Saran Stacy.
15 plays. They ate up over 8 minutes. Jesus Ngoy with a field goal, and Saran is the man. Number 27, his first appearance of the season. Joined the team on Monday. And Spence Fisher.
I got to tell you, I'm not sure how much Saran Stacy can do right now. You know, the problem hasn't been Dickerson running the ball. It's been the penetration from Barcelona's front four and front seven.
Spence Fisher, the new quarterback, replacing Dave Barr. And there's the swing pass to Stacy. That's the play that he usually makes into big yardage. And he did most of that on his own.
Well, if he doesn't do anything, he gives the offense new hope. I mean, because this is the guy who was the main cog in the wheel that drove him to the World Championship in the World League last year. So, and we talked about his records. And a new quarterback. So they've made wholesale changes. It's funny, Jim Kreiner He said, I'm not completely sold on what Dave Barr can do for me.
Well, he's checking out this guy, Spence Fisher, who's back to pass. Spence is a big guy. And he dumps it off incomplete to Stacy. You know, Bernie Kosar retired today. That was the big announcement back in the States. He was with the Miami Dolphins the last 2 seasons. And last year's playing time was really cut by Jimmy Johnson when they signed Craig Erickson. And so this guy, who's been allocated by the Dolphins as a punter and quarterback, is getting some playing time.
Let's hope he throws better than he kicks.
He was a great passer at Duke University.
Yeah, you can change the quarterback, but you can't change what's going on on the other side of the ball.
Eric Naposki, the big number 91.
Up the middle, the penetration inside is where the Dragons have dominated, and there he is. You just get a case where you got too many people and too many gaps, and the offensive linemen don't know who to block. That's called good scheming, good play calling by Red Kellen, the defensive coordinator for the Barcelona Dragons.
7 sacks now for Barcelona. They had a half a dozen a week ago. And Spence again off the side of his foot. Just over 9 minutes to play. The last drive took 8 minutes and 15 seconds for Barcelona. Really go to the ground to chew up more time.
Well, the only thing the Claymores can start to do now is to blitz inside and blitz more often.
Second down and 7. Bruce Presley is the running back in now. Takes the draw play. Young man out of Rutgers University. Poe on the tackle.
Yeah, see, it's smash mouth time now. 13 zip. Clock running 8 minutes. Jack McNell's not going to do anything but let the guys up front use their experience and their weight to get things done.
There's Presley, 210-pounder. And the play clock is winding down. It's in single digits, but it hasn't bothered Kitna. He's been called for penalty once. He's called timeout twice, and he gets nabbed that time.
That got him.
Or did he get the timeout?
Looked like he got the timeout in time.
It's the penalty.
Number 7, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Well, we were bragging on him, and he got caught that time. 3rd and 9. Kitna, wide open is Davis. Down to the 12-yard line.
Anytime your quarterback hits the last step of his drop, especially on a 5-step drop, 7-step drop, and has time to pat, set his feet comfortably, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That looks like a 7-step drop, step up, that's textbook. No one touches him after he lets go of the ball. No hand near him. That's excellent protection by the offensive line.
I mean, talk about a guy wide open. I mean, wow. Presley working hard on the inside, just eating up clock. His job is not to fumble, bull forward, and let the clock do its work.
Wide right.
And a battle in the corner.
I got to give...
They're going after your guy again.
I got to give Charles Swan the anti-toast award today because they are trying their best to butter him and put jelly on him, but they can't do it. And it's the same play. Just a fade pass. They're going to put it right over his head. Contact there. 6
minutes to play, 4th quarter.
Look at the protection.
And Kitna slides down to about the 1-yard line. And you're not supposed to hit a quarterback when he slides like that. Took a shot to the head.
with the numbers John Kittner has put up, if I'm a
Yeah, get in a shot when you can, right?
Claymores, I am going to take every shot I can get. Good coverage downfield. He's got no place to go. But look at, nobody touches him until he slides down 7 yards down the field.
There's Stoney Case, the backup quarterback, allocated by the Arizona Cardinals. Great play action fake. Getting a touchdown to his tight end, Bryce Burnett. And they're pouring it on thick now. That makes it 19-zip.
Well, Bryce Burnett represents every good tight end used in a good passing offense. He's keeping the ball. I would.
Jesus Angoy booting it through. You know, John Kittner has had a heck of a game.
This is a nice play action. Everything's going to come here and then work back to the opposite side. And Barnett has to find a way to get open. Look at the play action there. Nope, the ball's not in there. But that shows you how all the players thought, from the Claymores, thought that's where the ball went. But actually, it went to Bryce Barnett standing wide open.
All eyes on me. Give it all to God.
Big hole. Eric Smith up around the 47-yard line. And that woke up the crowd. Eric Smith is the young man we told you in the first half. He was clocked in the 40-yard dash by Marty Schottenheimer at 4.2. And you're a former NFL guy, and you said usually when those coaches clock, it's a slow clock.
Oh, it's a very slow clock. But if you're running a 4.2 NFL clock,
Yeah.
you're scooting.
And that is amazing. Deion Sanders a 4.1.
Now, he did that with sweats on. Sweats and
Get out of here.
plenty of gold and sunglasses. He came down the tunnel in Indianapolis. He took his hat off. He took his sunglasses off. He laced up his sneakers and ran a 4.1. He picked up his sunglasses, put his jacket on, and said, "I'll see you at draft day." He was right.
And the rest is
I don't have anything else to prove. I can run.
Jim Kreiner, the head coach, knows this is a tough loss at home especially with a playoff format in the World League. Spence Fisher lets it go, and it's almost caught flag on the play.
They're going to get an interference.
It'll be a 15-yarder. That's a World League rule. Different from the NFL, it will not be from where the penalty took place.
Boy, Spence Fisher, he didn't get enough on that ball. If he throws that ball out there and puts it where it's supposed to be, that could have been an easy touchdown.
Pass interference, number 27, defense. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
That's, like you said, that's an intentional interference penalty, so it will go from the spot of the occurrence. You see here, Spence doesn't quite get enough on it. That's why everybody has to come back to the ball. You see number 21. Looked like Mark Washington right there. Looked like he grabbed just on the shoulder.
4:08 on the clock. First down, following the interference. And the double reverse.
Oh, Yo Murphy did a good job just to get out of that mess.
And Yo Murphy gets the touchdown.
Wow.
Yes, Yo Murphy, great individual effort.
Yo Murphy does a great job of just getting out of the pileup.
Gary Groundroos from Finland to try to tack on the extra point. And he does. That makes it 20-7 with 4 minutes to play.
Play is going to start out to this side, but the penetration right there That's 96, Oliver Barnett. He almost destroys the whole play, but watch the effort. And look at the block right there. Spence Fisher gets down and gets dirty. He puts a helmet into somebody, and a nice effort. Now watch Spence Fisher. Watch the quarterback. Now this is not familiar territory for quarterbacks. He made a huge block.
Yeah,
that block was the difference in the touchdown. Outside the effort for Murphy.
The onside kick. And the Claymores have gotten it, but did it go 10 yards?
I don't think
the play. I don't think it
go
went
10 yards before contact was made.
Illegally touching the kick before it went 10 yards, number 84, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick at the 25.
So they'll re-kick. Stephen Branscombe touched it too early. Ground Roost thought he'd done it.
That ball has to go 10 yards, which is somewhere around in there. And you're going to see contact made right there. Had that contact been made after the ball went 10 yards, it would have been fair. But you know, no matter how many times you do this, it's always hairy for the receiving team.
Oh, yeah.
There's no more of a nail biter in football than this play right here.
That was a good hop.
That was live.
That time they got it. Claymore's got it. Umverzat with the recovery. That was a perfect kick. Eric Umverzat. Hey, his name means in German, he who gets it done, and he got it done that time.
See, the ball's got to go up to the 10-yard line. It's got to go past that line right there. But the key is that the Claymores got downfield and got people blocked.
What a hop.
And the mistake on the Dragons' part, they didn't have enough people crowding that 10-yard line in case of that. All they had to do was throw one block, get the ball, and they made it look easy.
Spence Fisher back to pass.
Ooh.
And that'll keep the clock going. That's not what they wanted. You see the clock and the time in our Fox box. Barcelona on top 20-7. The Claymores in their blue home jerseys. And Barcelona jumping out to a quick 2-0 start if they hang on here. And that's big in the World League, because after 5 weeks, whoever's on top will host the World Bowl. Big play.
Butler by Note. Getting a nice break on that ball. He's covering man-to-man, one-on-one over there on Alan DeGraffenried, a guy who he played college football with. He said he knows very well, knows the trick, knows how to beat him. And now that's a good pitcher, because if you're going to commit to the ball full speed like that, then you have to get it. Because if he misses it, DeGraffenried is still running.
The Claymores with 1 timeout remaining. 3rd down now and 9. From behind, the ball stripped. Flag on the play.
Now, if his hand is in motion, that's an incomplete pass. It's got to be coming forward. His arm has to be coming forward in order for that to be called an incomplete pass.
Carl Reeves on the strip.
Unless they have something else called there. Holding, yeah.
Holding against the Claymores, which will probably be declined.
Holding, number 77, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
4th down now. Claymores have to go for it.
That's Matt Joyce right there. Number 77 got called for the infraction.
Fourth down and a miracle. That's what they need. They got a long way to go. Got it.
Fourth and 22. Fourth and...
Yeah, you're in trouble.
A little bit longer than 9.
He's looking deep. Got a man. Ooh. Oh, that was close. Eric Smith was actually open.
I'm not sure Eric Smith was able to locate the ball. Finally, Spence Fisher gets time to unload. He's going to look to the right, try to look off the safety, then come back left. I thought he dropped this ball in there perfect. Yeah.
Struggling today at home, the man who lives in Yellowstone, Montana, West Yellowstone, Montana, said he has a blue ribbon trout stream 300 feet from his front door. Hey, I don't fish, but I kind of fell in love with that. That sounded pretty good to me.
Well, he's even done that up here. He said the fishing's great up here.
Jack Bicknell hasn't started 2-0 since 1991. That was the year he took his team to the World Bowl against London at Wembley Stadium when they had over 70,000. The Monarchs won that game. Jack likes his squad. They're off to a 2-0 beginning. I mean, that is big in this league with the playoff format the way it is. Closing in on a 2-minute warning. And there it is. John Kitna. Claymores with a stop. James Logan on the tackle. Dennis Erickson found this young man, Kitna.
Yeah, he plays big. He's a smaller guy that plays much bigger when he really is. And, you know, he's going to have some new meat to throw at when he gets back up to Seattle. The Seahawks, of course, drafting Sean Springs,
Warren Moon,
touted defensive back out of Ohio State.
Go, guys.
And there's Kitna's numbers for the day. He was the World League Player of the Week. In the first game, he was quite impressive. And he's followed that up with another outstanding performance.
I know. That's exactly. That's what I just said.
He's got, I love his low maintenance lid haircut. Low World League maintenance.
And the completed pass for a first down. Eric Smith. The NFL draft, first round, was completed yesterday. And we talked about Dave Barr, the quarterback who started for the Claymores today. Spence Fisher's in there right now. Ball goes out of bounds. Barr is allocated by the 49ers, but Druckenmiller, the big kid from Virginia Tech, the 26th pick by the 49ers.
How about St. Louis? Orlando Pace. Tell you, I think the Rams got a shot to be good in the next few years, only because they have a lot of young kids that are good players. But they just need to all get on the same page. Ooh, they got a chance.
Hello. Welcome to the World League. Carl Reeves brings down Spence Fisher, who says, you know, I like being a punter much better than this quarterback stuff sometimes. This should just about do it. Maybe one more play after this. Joe Murphy on the reception. Dick Vermeil, the new head coach and GM of the St. Louis Rams. They have a lot of allocated players, several today, at least 4 that we've talked about. Flag on the play. And one of those guys was the defensive back that they worked on, who had a heck of a game.
Offsides, number 92, defense. 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat 4th down.
Looks like
Hugh Hunter was the culprit. Very impressed with this Barcelona defensive front. Not big, but very quick and athletic. There's a first down out of bounds. Scott Cooper, the national player from Scotland. That brings a cheer from the crowd that remains here at Murray Field.
I tell you what did Jim Pryor say? That is the best national player in the whole league, Scott Cooper. And I might have to agree with him, because every time I see the Claymores play, that guy makes a play.
Spence lets it fly. And it's caught. does it. So that pads on the stats a little bit. Alan de Gravenrieve caught it, and Ron Pitts with Barcelona winning 20-7. For Ron Pitts, I'm Doug Bell. So long from Edinburgh, Scotland.